Background noise, please. Okay, guys, get freaking ready. I love listening to Kyra speak. Like, she always brings the fire, and I warned everybody, she does drop F-bombs. So, like, if you've got kiddos, just know that. Totally cool. But I kind of love it. So she is an 8-star diamond coach. She was a 2020 elite coach. Her business just like has taken off. It's been really fun to watch her from the beginning. She is a Success Club 10 legend. She is a wife, a mom, and a bonus mom. Like she mentioned, she also has a BU Unapologetically podcast that she does weekly, and it's super great. So if you don't subscribe to that, do that for sure. But she is going to bring the fire. So I'm just going to mute my line and get my notes ready because it's going to be awesome.
Okay. I love the introduction. I love that she went ahead and did what I normally do of like, all right, so first and foremost, I do it is literally out of love. I never in derogatory. It is like my fire words is what I call them. Like my favorite F word. It's just my fire words. And it's because I believe in this so much. And I think I had asked to talk about quite a few different things, but like the reason I have my podcast called Be You Unapologetically is for that exact reason. And I can tell you right now, the quickest way to ruin your business is to show up as somebody else. And we can all be like, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm going to give you a couple cues to let you know that you're doing that. And I do it out of love because I want to remind you that you will never recruit the people that you're wanting in your business if you're showing up as someone else. So if you can go to your Instagram and look at the top search ones, if they are coaches in any single aspect of the idea at all, you are not showing up as you. And I say that wholeheartedly because there are so many times for me specifically, I would think, but I just want to know what they're doing. And you're saying that so that you can compare it to how your business is going. But my question is, what does their business have to do with yours? And I say that because I know I have to have myself get that gut check. When I spend my day literally seeing how other people are showing up, I'm not working my business. And by that, I mean, I'm not helping people who are watching me. If I'm watching somebody else, I'm helping their business. I'm giving them more views. I'm giving them the ability to help the people that I say I want to help. And one of the biggest aspects of my business is truly just being myself. And by that, I mean, I have to make it to where I only look at me. And maybe you're like, what do you mean by that? So I have to take it back to, I will rewatch my stories and I ask myself, would I sign up with me? Am I bringing value? And so one of the biggest things I want you to ask yourself, are you sharing from your 5 buckets? And maybe this is something that you guys have heard 15 million times. I don't care. You need to hear it again, because what happens is you get into this rut of comparison and you get into this rut of how you should, could, would that you don't even do. You're doing so much wishing and hoping and praying that you're not actually taking action. And when I say showing up in your business, I mean, what value do you bring to your people who are watching you? It's super easy to look at what you're doing and think, I couldn't do what she can because of X, Y, and Z. Or you're making the excuse of it's easier for her because of X, Y, and Z. I am taking back to the basics for my next boot camp, but I'm going to bring you that aspect as well as to how I'm looking at what I'm doing. And I named my next group #BurnTheDamnBoat. Because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Bob Proctor. He is older than the hills. He knows his shit like no one's business. But here's the thing, and I can guarantee you, you're probably doing this exact same thing. You're playing it safe. You're doing what you know works because you're too afraid of failing. And I want to remind you, you're not actually succeeding then. You're just practicing. And we're not here to practice. We're here to freaking make an impact and actually show up in your business. So if you are putting on the game plan, you're playing it safe, you're posting things that you know get a lot of likes, but you're not actually adding any value, you're not helping anybody. And before you get caught up in the followers, the likes, all of the above, I'm going to ask you a real quick gut check question. When you get 45 likes on your picture, do you tell yourself, I only got 45 likes? Or do you spend 45 minutes thanking them? If you're not thanking every single one of your likes that you're getting right now, you don't deserve the 200, the 400, the 500, the 1,000. You don't deserve them. Because if you're not serving the people at your table, you're doing no justice to those who are going and looking for. So one of the biggest questions I get all the time is like, how do I grow my following? And that is probably one of the most annoying questions I've ever received in my life, because I'm like, why would you follow you? If you want to know how to grow your following, be more valuable, add more to your business, add more to your content. How are you actually helping them? I don't need you to sell to me. I need you to share with me. I need you to share how you feel. I need you to share what you're going through. I need you to share how you're overcoming it. Because the thing is, if you're only posting what you have to sell, your next boot camp, if you're only blasting Beachbody all the time, I have nothing that I can connect to you to, because I'm a mom who is struggling to understand how to make ends meet. I'm struggling how to feel good in my own body. And if all you're telling me is how great you feel and how awesome that your kale salad is, I can't relate to that. But if you're in here telling me like, my kids are driving me freaking crazy, I need 5 minutes to myself, I'm going on a walk, and then you share with me the personal development podcast that you're listening to because you love it and it made you feel good, guess what? That's a win that I can try. And I tell you that part because this goes with your customer base, with your following base, and your coaching base. Everybody is looking for a win. So if you can look at what you are sharing, how can someone take the content that you're giving them and make it a win for them? So whenever you're giving them, even it's whatever you love. So like me, hair care tips, makeup products, all the above. If I share with them what I love, they try it and they get a win, I instilled belief in them. They now trust me. So the same goes for people who are following you, who are prospects, who have not yet signed up with you. If you share a personal development or maybe a walk that you did or whatever value that you give to your customer base and you give it to your prospects, they are going to trust you into wanting to be one of your customers. They're going to be like, all right, I love what McKenna told me about X, Y, and Z. Maybe this unicorn powder or whatever you call Energize, maybe it's actually pretty good. If you can get them to know you, love you, trust you before they say yes, they will be a lifer. But if you find yourself, I know everybody in the universe is going to be like, this is not true. Or they're going to be like, she's wrong. The proof is in the follow-up. Can I tell you how much I hate that? Can I tell you how much I actually hate that saying? Because here's the thing. I am not in the business of convincing. I am in the business of believing. So I want to show up so 100% me, unapologetically, that when I ask you, you're like, yes. Not now there's a difference between follow-up next month, but I don't want to sit here and send the same message, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, 27 times to convince you that you need this. I'm sorry, that's my dog. You're not in a place in your business ever to beg someone to do this with you, because guess what? If you have to beg them to do it, you're going to have to beg them to stay. And I am not here for that energy. I am here to help people change their life who actually want this. The reminder that I have for you, show them they want this. Show them how this has blessed you. Show them how this has changed your life. Show them how you burn the damn boat. So what burn the damn boat means, get rid of your second. Get rid of the backup plan. Get rid of the parachute, because you're never going to go all in if you're not literally diving for failure. If you dive being like, this may crash and burn, guess what? It may also be the most successful thing you ever did in your life. So maybe you're scared to do whatever it is, name it, X, Y, Z, host a free group, call out that you want to have a coach mentorship. Maybe you're telling yourself you are not successful enough to have a coach mentorship. Maybe you're telling yourself you're not successful enough to do a Spotlight Saturday. For those of you who don't know, a Spotlight Saturday is basically you doing a webinar just like this, where you share your story, tell why you believe in it. You don't get on there and share how much the products cost, how much weight you lost, all the above. They can go to an infomercial and see that. They want to know how this has changed your actual life and how they can see themselves too. Because if you guys do not know, when people are watching you, every post you make, every story you have, everything that you do, they have their cup and it's just sitting here. And you make a post and she's like, damn girl, me too. She puts a coin in. You made a story. You talked about how you struggled with anxiety and depression, but your workouts are helping you feel better because, and you give the exact instance, not cookie cutter, not surface level, not, oh my gosh, I feel so good because I worked out. They won't believe you. But if you can talk about your actual feel, felt, found, this is how you feel, this is how you felt, and then you feel, and then you found this, she's me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. The whole point of everything that you do in this business is for them to fill their cup up with me too. And the thing is, this cup right here, it's labeled, if she can, I can. You give them enough proof that you mean this cup will be filled and you will not have to do the 50 million follow-ups. You will not have to do all of the above. You guys, I could have higher Success Club members. I could have a higher paycheck by sitting here and recruiting left and right. It does not bless me. And maybe that goes against what your upline says, to each their own. I do not believe in making more money and selling more challenge packs to warm bodies in order to be successful. I'd rather be successful by helping actual people who cannot live without this, because they have watched me day in and day out show up when times are hard, when I didn't have to, when I don't feel my best, and I show up and I share that regardless. You guys, I get more interaction with people when I share my actual struggles, when I share what I'm really going through, when I decide to level up, and when I bring to them, hi, I'm struggling too, just in case you're wondering if, you sign up and all of a sudden now you have everything gone in your life. No, like I still battle body image issues. I still battle having that fear around being good enough. And when I share that, but I also have a freaking point to my story in my post, and I tell them, hi, I feel better because of this. This is how I started. This is what got me here. And this is where I'm going. When you can do that, people will know you, love you, trust you. And the whole point of this business is that you can get caught up in the numbers. You can get caught up in how much better you're supposed to be. You can get caught up in all of the above, but none of that means nothing if you don't believe that. So we have Summit coming up, right? And for those of you who has been to a summit before, awesome. Okay. You guys know what it's like. When you go to Summit, you get that cup that your people are talking about. That's your cup. You go around and you see people and you see them be successful and you see them in real life and you're like, damn girl, if she can, I can. Me too, me too, me too. You see all these things, you're like, me too. But here's the thing about Summit. It can either change your life or it can be another weekend that you took a lot of cute pictures and did jack shit with your business. Because here's what it comes down to. It's not the actual event that changes your life. It's your belief bucket. Summit freaking fills your belief bucket that you deserve to be successful. You deserve to make six figures. You deserve to be $1 million earner. You deserve to be a top coach. And the reason why is because you believe in what we have to offer. Not because your challenge packs are better, not because your boot camps are amazing, not because your onboarding process is good. Here's the biggest thing that I feel like people don't want you to know. All of that means jack shit if you don't believe in this. And I mean that 100%. You can have the best onboarding process. You can have the best boot camp, all of the above. But if you don't believe in this and you don't actually deliver the change that people are looking for, you're going to be chasing your own damn tail for years. You're going to be here 1 year from now in the exact same position. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in your ability and you believe in your belief and you believe that you deserve this, 1 year from now, you will be a fundamentally different person. So here is my question for you. When's the last time you wrote down a scary, hairy ass goal? Raise your hand if it was this morning. Raise your hand if it was this week. Raise your hand if it was this month. Okay. There are still some hands that aren't raised. And I want to remind you, you're showing up for nothing. I love you enough to tell you you're showing up for nothing. Why do you think people are successful? Because they know where they're going. You don't write that down every single day. It's no wonder you feel like you're not making progress. It's no wonder you think that you're not doing enough. It's because if you don't write down that big, scary, hairy goal, why would you show up harder? Why would you show up for X, Y, and Z? We always have that thing like show up for your why. While I believe in that, I love my children so much. They're not why I show up. I show up for me 100% without a doubt. Never, ever, ever second guess that. Because as much as you want to show up for your kids or your spouse or maybe being debt free, I love all of that. And I believe those are all goals you should write down. But if you're not making you your top priority, you'll give up every single time. Because guess what? You're the only person you talk to every single day. You're the only person who tells yourself a story. So if you're not writing down that big, scary, hairy goal every single day, your brain's going to find reasons to believe why you don't deserve it. Your job as a coach is to be your best self. It's not to sell challenge packs. It's not to have the prettiest Instagram. It's not to have more followers, none of it. Your first job is to be your best self. And the only way you can do that is to believe that you deserve your actual best. So as much as I want to come in here and be like, all right, so how you get to X, Y, and Z is this, there is no answer besides mindset shift. 1000%. You will not be the successful coach that you're envisioning if you're not willing to put in the effort right now. My biggest question always is like, how did you get to this star to this star? I gave them belief. It wasn't me. It was them. The reason that you have coaches who aren't at Diamond, who aren't at 2-star, who aren't at X, Y, and Z is because they don't believe they need to be there. So if you're going to be a leader, it's time you help them believe. Help them see, help them paint the vision, help them remind them why they deserve this. But the trickiest part is that if you are putting your happiness in a rank, you're going to be severely let down. Because if you're not happy as a Diamond coach, you damn sure is not going to be happy as a 2-star. You're damn sure not going to be happy as an elite coach. If you don't appreciate this business and what it can do for you right freaking now, you won't appreciate it when you get to that success. You guys, we preach, don't believe in the number. We preach, don't go out and search for the size, the weight, all the above. I want you to do the same thing. Turn those fingers back to you. You will not be happier when you make more money. You will not be happier when you have more diamonds, more anything, none of it. It all comes down to you. And what do you believe in? When you make that post, who are you talking to? Who is the old you that needs to hear what you have to say? So I know that I'm all over the place all the time because I truly believe in the ability of shifting your mindset 100% in order to get the things that you're wanting to get. When I say be you unapologetically, what I mean is that I need you believing that you deserve this. I need you believing that there is no second option. You are your best self. You are your own damn boss. You own your business and you own your team. No matter how big or how small, I want you to show up as you. Because when you're doing that, when you quit comparing, when you quit checking up on X, Y, and Z, when you quit seeing how she's running her business, you'll have the time to run your damn own. You'll believe that you deserve the success that you are jealous that she has. It's a reminder. Someone else is probably watching you and you're busy watching someone else. It's about damn time you take the look in the mirror and realize you deserve the kind of team that you're wanting. And if you want that kind of team, it's time you show up like it. It's time you be the freaking coach that you want to attract. So my challenge for you right now is that for the next week, whenever you make a post, number one, I want it to be valuable. Doesn't mean it's a challenge pack. Doesn't mean it's a call to action. None of the above. You choose what you want to do. I need your post to be valuable. And number two, I want you to send a thank you message to every single freaking woman who likes your post because she deserves that. You watch your following grow when you start adding value. You watch your following grow when you start giving to the people who are already at your table. That's who needs you to be your best. Not the strangers on the internet who have no idea who you are. You don't need to be. How many times have you guys had, even in high school, tried to convince the girl who doesn't like you, who won't let you sit at the lunch table, that you're good enough to sit with her? Meanwhile, you have a whole table of people who are like, you can sit with me. And you're like, no, but I want Susie Joe to like me. It's about the time you start serving the table who are actually wanting you to sit with them and then grow from there. You guys, Summit is called Better Together for a reason. We are better together. It's time you start acting like you have a team and you are worthy of the happiness and the success that you keep chasing. So, and I always get myself all fired up. If you guys have any Q&As, totally fine. What I would love more than anything is for you to get really serious about your goals that you're actually showing up for. Because you cannot show up every single day to see how many likes you get on your post. You cannot show up every single day to see how many challenge packs you sell. You don't do your workouts for that. You don't, write down your goals for that. You write down your goals because you want a better life. What action are you taking every single day? Because that's the only way you're going to get to where you want to go, is by taking small action steps every single day. The compound effect is legit. It is real. The 10X rule, it is real. There is a reason why those books are top selling personal development books, because they actually freaking work. So if you're wanting to level up your business, it's time you start paying attention to those who are paying attention to you. So I will open up if anybody has any questions or anything. I will be glad to answer them.
Love it. I was gonna. Oh, go ahead, McKenna. I was just gonna ask, like, would you mind just giving insight of what you say when you thank people for liking your posts? Like, I'm sure it's probably simple, but just curious, like, how you do that.
It really just depends on the specific post. I try and make it about what that post is about. But like, for example, so let's say you do a call to action post. Like I had one yesterday. It was a transformation post, and it was calling to, I have boot camp coming up. So those kinds of posts, my thank you is pretty straightforward. I make one genuine one, and then I do copy and paste because I ain't got time for that. So I send a message like, hey girl, thank you so much for loving on my post. Seriously, I am so excited for this next boot camp. I have seen this be a game changer. Have you ever heard of this new program? Or have you ever tried this program? Have you ever tried at-home workouts? General like that, because here's how I look at it. I am not invading their space because they liked my posts. They came into my store and they're asking for help by just having eyes on there. And do I get ghosted? Yep, sure do, but doesn't keep me from sending out messages, right? And so the next thing I would do, if it's not from posts, the other ones I do for my stories. So if you guys do not follow me, totally fine. I just told you not to follow coaches, but I do like rants, like I am guaranteed an 8 to 16 slides for a storyline that I have. I get to the last storyline. And I want to see who actually stayed on that page, or who actually stayed on my stories. So I'll send them a message from there. From that direct thing, I will send a message like, hey girl, thanks so much for sticking through that rant, or thanks so much for watching my stories. I don't know if you saw, but I have a boot camp that started prep week today. I would love to send you more information if you're interested. They're either going to tell me yes, or they're going to tell me no, or they're going to ghost me. The other thing is, like, they're never going to tell me yes if I don't ask them, right? And once again, they're in my store. They're watching my stories, so I know that they are interested. So I might as well give them that leg up. I might as well do that. The other thing that I have found super straightforward for me personally, I used to have a price objection. I don't know if anybody else is scared of the price. Anybody else thinks it's too much money. Get that idea out of your fucking head right now, because you are worth more than $160. And if you feel like you're not, we need to get you some different personal development. Number one, Fear is My Homeboy is a book you absolutely have to read. It is bright pink and super cute. And then the second book that you need to read is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is the Bible. Legit, kid you not. It is amazing. The first chapter will get you. You are a fucking cheetah. That is what she says, and that is what I live by, 100%. If you get it on Audible, she has an amazing voice to listen to. Otherwise, this right here is so, so good. But anyway, if you have price objections, yes, the audio for Fear is My Homeboy is so good too. If you have price objections, that's because you don't see the value in what you are giving them for $160. But first and foremost, I like to preface why I love what I have, why I stick with it 100%, and then I give them the details right there in my stories. Because if you think about your stories, you genuinely are having a conversation with X, Y, and Z, however many people are watching your stories. You're having a conversation with them. They feel like they're watching and you are talking directly to them. So if you can preface that conversation of what you have to add, what value you are giving them, all of the rundown and the price, and they're still on that thing, send them a message and be like, hey girl, I don't know if you saw my boot camp starting. We have this amazing bundle right now. I would love to send you more information if you're interested. That's what I send right there. And then a lot of the times I will be like, drop your email below so that I can message you. I will tell you right now, I have around 17 to 1,800 people typically watching my story consistently, like that's a good number that we'll never steer away from. And I have maybe 6 or 7 people drop my email. So before you are like, oh my God, I only had one person. Okay, well, that's one person you can help. And last time I checked, you were one person. So you could be the one person you're helping, right? So I do that specifically so that I can weed out the robots. So I can weed out people who are guaranteed, who are brave, who are courageous, who are wanting to actually have a chance. Like if they give you their email, they're freaking interested. And those are the ones that you do follow up with. So I put that in there and I just message them from there. I typically have a really pretty graphic that I made just to give it to them, and I label everything. So I just take the graphic that Beachbody has, like the PNG, so it's a background. I do polls. No, I do not. I have sometimes, but they're full of people. They're full of robots and it wastes my time and it pisses me off. So, but like I do a really pretty picture and I give them the price right. Stuff. I put like my pre and post workout, body ropes, nutrition, blah, 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 blah. And I put the price of all of it. And then I put $160 promo. That's what I do. And from there, they're like, shit, that's really good. I'm like, I know, right? Whereas, think if you did the role reversal. Oh, my phone's going off. Sorry. If you did the role reversal and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. It's 160. I hope that's okay. Well, no, they're not going to say yes to that. They're like, oh no, I'm sorry. It's out of my budget. I really love to role reversal with that. If y'all can't tell, like I'm pretty, like not sarcastic, but pretty snarky sometimes. Like, girl, don't call me out because I'll call you out too. So whenever they're like, oh, that's not in my budget. I'm like, okay, so what's your budget? Oh, well, it's $100. I'm like, awesome. Good. I have 6 months of on-demand and unicorn powder. Let's get you started. They're like, okay. You know, the people will spend money regardless. This pandemic has shown that people are spending money regardless of their situation, regardless of whatever it is. Might as well be spending money with you, investing in their health rather than Target getting their freaking candles and their like table runners that they don't need. This is me telling you, you are valuable. You are worth $160. You're worth $190. You're worth $220. You are worth the value. And the people will buy what you talk about. So if you are only talking about Energize, then they're always going to go with Energize. Whereas if you're sharing everything you're using, if you are a Beachbody whore and you are using every single one of our products, you better be talking about every single one of those products and why you love them throughout your day. Look at Beachbody products as a commercial. You are your TV show. Beachbody is your commercial because people will know you, love you, trust you outside of Beachbody way before anything else. So people come to my page for hair and makeup tutorials, for food recipes, for rants, and then for Beachbody. There are many, many times I get asked, hey, are you a coach? Like, what are you? Because I don't want to be known as a brand. I want to be known as me. And I want them to sign up because I have who I am, not because of what I sell. And because I share that more than I share just Beachbody, I just put Beachbody into my daily routine. So that really helps weed out people from, I don't know, coach jumpers, for lack of a better term, people who have gone coach to coach to coach to coach. I'm not here to, I can't change their life. It's a decision that they have to make. Do you add everybody to your challenge group even if they don't buy a challenge pack? No, I do not. I'm a challenge pack. I believe in it 100%. I very, very, very rarely have ever an objective for that or an objective to the coaching discount. I sign up 99.9% of discount coaches. And that is just honestly how I did it. Like in general, not because I do not have an active upline. So I don't have somebody teaching me what to do. I don't have trainings or anything like that. I had to just decide what I was going to do. And I wanted ranks. So I signed up discount coaches. And when I sign people up, I teach them also how to sign up discount coaches so that they are hitting diamond faster. I can't tell you that it's like, oh my gosh, it's the most lasting business I've ever had in my life because I've had to replace 4 of my diamonds, but they are here, right? So I personally, whenever I am helping them get set up, please share how you leave with a discount. So I get all through all of this. I do everything like I just told you. I don't talk to them any differently. And whenever they're ready to get signed up, I'm like, awesome, I can get you set up where you get 25% off your product plus discounted shipping. This boot camp is 6 weeks long. You are going to have a second shipment. I would rather you spend the money of the $15.95 and save over $50 rather than sign up, whatever. And then I send them the link and they just say, okay, like I don't hide it. I make sure and put it up first and foremost, because the worst thing you can do is try and slip it in there. Like, don't do that. Don't be salesy. That's gross. I talk about it right then and there that, hi, I am saving you money. And this is basically like the Amazon Prime. You pay $12.99 for Amazon Prime, $15.95 for the coaching discount. If I ever have any objectives, which is very few and far between of the $15.95, I just let them know, well, with that, you do get a customer service line, you do get a free website, and you do get your ability to have your own challenge groups and website done for you for that $15.95. So it's basically like a control center. And they're like, okay, 6 months energized. Do they just check in one-on-one every once in a while? Yes, for the most part. They're just continued followers. Like, I do have people who are just like, I'm good. I don't need a challenge group. And, you know, they're not my rock stars because they're not getting in the challenge group. And I just try and FOMO my challenge group a lot. So I share about my challenge group. I share what we offer in there. I do screen shares of things like that just to show what it's like. There are a few times where I have somebody who will just get Beachbody on demand by itself, and then I will have them in there. And the reason I do that is because then they get FOMO with everybody sharing their unicorn powder, and that's what I call Energize, and our shakes, and then they want to order it. And so then I get them into another completion pack, and then we're good to go. Let's see if there's, I'm gonna see if I have missed any other questions. I don't see that. Oh, one thing that McKenna talked about is sharing Shakeology recipes. 100%. I get people from that without fail every single time. Every single time I share a Shakeology recipe, I will get a sign up. Whenever the pandemic started, you guys, when I sold cafe latte, like it was literally going out of style. It was my highest success club month of my life because I showed people how to make it at home Frappuccino. And they were like, I don't know. I don't know what this is, but I want to get signed up. And it was like, okay, it's $160. Like, okay, I'll do it. And I mean, they're all still here. They're all still in my challenge group. I personally do an ongoing boot camp. I just have one going all the time. And then I do launches. And then, so I have MBF coming up, and we're in prep week right now. And then we will do the entire 6 weeks together. I have them do a contract. They go 100% all in. I tell them no cheats. We are doing our meal plan. We're drinking 1 gallon of water. We're reading personal development every single day. And you're going on a 30-minute walk. What happens is they get results and then they don't want to quit. That's actually our game plan here. Before you ever think that it's just Success Club that we're looking for, it's results. It's transformation over transaction every single time.
When you share Shakeology recipes, are you just doing a story?
Yeah, I literally make it for them. I'm and I don't even really talk about it. I talk about my day, but I share how I make it. So this last one that, for summertime, I've been doing orange juice in tropical strawberry. It is freaking amazing. And if you ever tried it, I do 1 cup of water, 1 cup of ice, and a little over a half a cup of orange juice, put it in a shaker, shake it up, and then drink it like that. And I just talk about I'm just making this drink, blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking about my day throughout the day, and I get messages and I just tell them why I love my shake. What's so good about it? I tell them, how it comes with right now, specifically, it comes with a year of workouts and blah, 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 blah. They're like, okay, so I'm selling challenge packs by picking a product. And you can do the same thing with your unicorn powder and unicorn powder and muscle magic or recover. I do the same thing. I show them how to I make protein coffee, and it is just my coffee with almond milk, cooling it down, put in recover, froth it up. It's protein coffee. And they're like, all right, I want protein coffee. And I'm like, great, it's $160. And they're like, okay. And I get them set up and I give them the link for my boot camp. I have used this really pretty, if you like pretty things, Flowdesk, FLODESK.com, of creating my own really pretty emails. Let me see, actually. Nope, that's not it. I was hoping I had just copied and pasted it to somebody, but it literally, there is a deer right outside my window. Yeah. It's really pretty, and it looks professional of you telling them what your challenge group, what your boot camp is about. And then it has a really easy thing where you can click here for more information or click here to join. If you guys go to my, Instagram. It is the very first link in my bio. That is my next one for my MBF enrollment. They can fill that out to apply for my boot camp. And it's just super easy and nice to use. Oh, awesome. I have a discount code for $19 a month. I think I'm using the free version, Michelle. I don't even pay money for it. Oh, say the protein coffee. So I do 1 cup of coffee. So on my Keurig, I use the smallest one. And then it's about a half a cup of almond milk into the coffee to cool it off. And then I put in Recover. And then I froth it with a frother from Amazon. It's like a little whisker. Whisker is funny, but it's super simple and easy. Let's see. Anything else?
I have a question, Kyra.
Okay. So I try to do weekly emails. It doesn't work for me. It does not bless me. It overwhelms me. I try and do bi-weekly, and I just kind of tell them what I have coming up next. Oh, can you still hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay? Okay. I do bi-weekly for mine. I do send out a weekly meal plan for my boot campers, and I just put it in our boot camp in the file section just because it is easier for me. But I do a bi-weekly one to all of my coaches and my customers at the exact same time. And I do use Flowdesk for that as well. And I just send out kind of telling them what I've been up to, like what I have going on with my boot camps. If we have a new product coming out, if I have a new boot camp happening, I just kind of word vomit to them. They're already my people. And then like I have people who ask like to get taken off of it or not. It's super simple. It just kind of covers the tracks for me. So I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Do you remember them when they stop ordering? Nope. So for the ongoing, they're there. If they, cancel or whatever, I don't really have a ton. I mean, I do, but I don't. I just keep them in there because the fact of the matter is I'm not having to do anything extra for them. So maybe eventually they'll come back or they'll decide to join back in. It is what it is. I personally don't take the time or the energy because that doesn't bless me. And if y'all have not noticed, that is my saying. If it does not bless me, I do not do it. What platform do you use for that? For my newsletter? Is that what you're asking about? For the emails? Okay. I cannot stand Google Streak. I tried it for a long time. It is just so much and it annoys me. So I personally use Flowdesk because it has the very similar things. Now I didn't even use the pipeline. So for Google Streak, you can pick what you want and then move them down the pipe. I don't love that. And also that's just my own personal preference. I just get their emails, put it in, and then you can put them in their own section in Flowdesk. You can have your own campaign. So it'll be like newsletter people. It can be whatever they want to be. And I just send it out from there. That's how I do it. I'm not saying it's the perfect way, but it's what works for me.
I have a question about how you help your new coaches, speaking on social media, but like how do you help your new coaches get started with what would you say the most important thing for them to do when they're kind of new to social media and sharing their journey and just getting their feet wet with that? Like as we talk about connecting with people on stories and that kind of thing.
So I kind of do my launch groups and like my new boot camps, all of the above, kind of like a new coach mentorship without telling them it's a new coach mentorship. So I have them be like, okay, do your welcome post. It is literally the post of the day. And I tell them what to do. And I do let it go organically because I don't believe in being like, hi, now go do X, Y, and Z. Because what will happen when they have interest coming back, if someone's messaging them, they will message me without me telling them to message me. They'd be like, hi, someone wants to get set up with this. I'm like, great, let me help you with that. And then I personally do go through with them. Like if they have somebody messaging or they are messaging somebody, screen sharing with me, and then I tell them how I would respond. The way I look at it is just like riding a bicycle. I can't expect my daughter to go out and ride a bicycle without training wheels. I have to train them how to do it. So what I kind of do is basically tell them what to do in my post of like, all right, now share a success that you've had. Now share something that you love. Now share a recipe. I kind of give them the steps of doing it so that they accidentally start coaching. And then whenever people are asking them questions, they're like, hey, how do I do this? And I let them know, okay, great. Here's a share a cart link. And I have a screen recording of how to do a share a cart link saved in my notes so that I can just send right to them. It's honestly, I do not have the perfect onboarding process. I just know that same for me, the reminder that I have to give myself, if you want it bad enough, you'll do it. I didn't have, like, my upline and I are one beside each other. We literally do everything together. We had nobody telling us what to do, but we knew we wanted this. So we showed up for it. So my thing is, if I'm giving that extra go-to, hi, make your welcome post, share a progress picture at least once a week, and then it's just part of my actual boot camp. They're becoming coaches by doing it, and they feel better. And then organically, like, hi, I want to help people. How do I pay for my products? Or how do I do A, B, and C? Then I give them the gist. I'm like, all right, here's the non-negotiables. I have 3 things that I tell them to do. First thing I need you to do is show up and share. Second thing that I need you to do is connect. Third thing I need you to do is invite. The rest is history. And whenever they're like, I'm not sure what to do, I'm like, well, if you're not showing up consistently for 7 days, you can't connect with anybody. And if you're not connecting with anybody, you cannot invite. So in order to do step 3, you have to do step 1 and 2. And that helps me weed out from dragging people. Because that's my biggest struggle that I had, was like hoping Sally Joe told me she wanted a coach, and yet she won't make a single fucking post. Well, then she doesn't want a coach. And that's a really hard truth that there is to that. So I think giving them the belief, once again, give them your belief, let them borrow your belief until they're ready. Then you really have to get them to do that. How do you teach people to connect just by watching their story views? So maybe I say connect is different than what connect is to you. So for connect is finding new people. That's what I look at connecting. People who are viewing my stuff, I view as invites. And I can be like loving on them and all the things. I may not be diving into an invite right then, but if they're watching my story, they want to be invited. And connects are brand new people. So I go out and I will look at who's watched my stuff and go to their page and then go to their following. Or I will do locations, or I will do top stores, things like that. I like to try and find people that way. And I do the whole, not necessarily 5-3-1. I do more of like 3-3-1. I don't want to like on 5 pictures, because then it's like, what you have to ask yourself, and maybe you've been told this before, how would you feel? How would you feel if someone had 9 notifications on your thing? You'd go, she's trying to 5-3-1 me, right? So do what you think would feel good. If I have a girl who likes on 3 or 4 of my things, I instantly message her. I'm like, girl, thanks for the love on my posts. That's it. That's a connect to me. So the invites come from things who are already inside my store. Connects are outside of my store. I don't have a weight loss journey. I'm always feeling like I need an eye-popping transformation photo. Do you recommend sharing transformations that aren't as eye-popping as weight loss? So, Stacy Turner, I need you to know that right now I speak out of love 100%. You do not need a transformation to be successful in this business physically, but you do need a mentally or emotionally transformation. So whether or not your fitness has changed completely, whether or not you've lost a ton of weight, whether or not you have abs or not abs, none of that actually matters. People want to feel their best. So if you can talk about where you started, either mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, all of that, and then where you are now, that's what people are going to connect to. Because once again, people are joining you not because you're from Beachbody, but because you share your life outside of Beachbody. So you don't need a physical transformation in order to be successful. You need to have transformed to be successful. Hopefully that makes sense. You're welcome, Stacy. Are there PDs you suggest for sharing your story? Although I see the value, it's hard for me to step outside of my comfort zone. Like, is it fear of judgment? Because if it's fear of judgment, you really need to read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And if you have already read that one, I would read The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, because those two are super freaking good. Yes. Okay. And I think it's the fear of judgment is you lacking confidence in what you have to offer. And that's why you need reminded, like, you are a badass. And maybe you've read it before. This is me telling you, sometimes personal development will not hit you at the right time. I had tried to read Girl Wash Your Face before, and I was like, I don't even know who this chick is. None of the above, right? And then I read it at a time when I was really second guessing my marriage. and it changed completely. So even if you have read You Are a Badass, even if you have read The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, I think fundamentally it will change your business 100% because your business is the very first word that I said. It's yours. And you have to change in order for your business to change. So absolutely, I think you need to do that. Yes, I want them to feel like they're watching their best friend on my stories. Yes, 100%. You're welcome, Megan.
Such good questions.
Those are really our good questions.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys? We can kind of wrap up with Kyra. Just be respectful of her time since she's a little later there, her time zone.
I know whenever McKenna was messaging me, I kept responding back to my time because I'm like, if I respond back to your time, I'm going to have no idea what time I'm supposed to be there.
Totally. Well, that was so much value. So you can only imagine what Kyra shares on her social media and all the value she always adds to everyone watching her, because that's all that we got tonight. And thank you so much. And thank you, McKenna, for setting this up.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. I cannot wait to see how much this changes your business by truly thinking of the value you can add whenever you're sharing 100%.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.